my screen is visible to you all, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Screen is
So
not visible, ma'am.
now, is it visible?
Visible, ma'am.
Thank you. So one request, participants, whoever are not talking, please be on mute. Whenever you have any questions, you can unmute and ask your questions. So I can talk both in English and Hindi. If you have questions, you can unmute and ask. We saw how to make vouchers and how to what are all the payroll reports, right? So this was what covered in the last session. And now in this session, as a continuation to that, we will be seeing about payroll statutory masters. Okay. So when I take payroll statutory, the most important things are Provident Fund, ESI, professional tax, and income tax. So in this session, I will take you all through what are all these and how to configure this in Tally Prime. Okay. So आपने लास्ट सेशन मोस्ट ऑफ यू अटेंड किए होंगे. तो लास्ट सेशन में हमने पेरोल का बेसिक्स का बारे में जाना था. हमने सीखा पेरोल कैसे इनेबल करना है, मास्टर क्रिएशन और वाउचर्स और पेरोल का रिपोर्ट्स. सो ये सारे थिंग्स हमने लास्ट सेशन पे वी हैड प्रैक्टिस्ड, राइट. अभी इस सेशन पे जो पेरोल का स्टैट्यूटरी पार्ट होता है, जैसे पीएफ, ईएसआई, प्रोफेशनल टैक्स एंड इनकम टैक्स, ये सारे टॉपिक्स के बारे में हम अब डिस्कस करेंगे. हम लोग समझेंगे ये व्हाट इज दिस एंड इसे टैली में हम कैसे मेंटेन कर सकते हैं. ओके. एंड व्हाट आर ऑल द ऑप्शंस रिलेटेड टू दिस वी हैव इट इन द प्रोडक्ट. Okay, so we will take the same employees. Last time we had created some employees, so we'll continue from that. Okay, this is the salary details. So now with this, we will continue with creation of, we will start with Provident Fund. Okay, so Provident Fund, yeah, PF. What is that? It is a saving scheme for salaried employees. Both the employee and employer contribute a certain percentage of employee salary to Provident Fund. Okay, so Provident Fund, it's a saving scheme, and here what happens is some percentage of the amount is paid by the employer and some percentage is paid by the employee. We'll see what is that. And then when you register for Provident Fund, company will be getting one registration number. Like we have registration number for GST. Even PF also has a registration number. So that number will look like this. First two digits will be the region code. Next three digits will be the office code, and then you will have establishment code, and then you will have extension code. Okay. So just for your information, the customer will know this, right? They will know what is the number. In Tally, I'll show you where you can give these details. Next one, statutory deductions. Okay. So now we understood PF, right? So we just, what is PF? It is it's like a saving for the employee where both employee and employer will contribute certain percentage of amount. Okay. So now first let us understand what is the difference between deduction and contribution. Okay. तो हम लोग ओके, मैं क्या बोल रही थी, पीएफ क्या होता है, मतलब वो इट्स लाइक अ सेविंग स्कीम होते हैं एम्प्लॉइज के लिए, और इस पीएफ में दोनों का कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है. एम्प्लॉई भी सर्टेन परसेंटेज पे करते हैं और एम्प्लॉयर भी पे विल आल्सो पे अ सर्टेन परसेंटेज. और इसमें दो लाइक यू नो व्हेन इट कम्स टू स्टैट्यूटरी देयर आर टू थिंग्स व्हिच यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. पहले वाला होता है डिडक्शन and second one is contribution. Okay, so what is deduction? As name itself tells, it is something we are reducing from employee salary, right? यदि हम employee का salary से कुछ amount reduce कर रहे हैं, हम उसे deduction बोलते हैं. Okay, and deduction can be statutory deduction या non-statutory deduction. Okay, statutory non-statutory deduction मतलब हमने पहला लाइक लास्ट वीक का सेशन में देखा था, यहाँ पे कुछ था कैंटीन डिडक्शन, मतलब कुछ फैसिलिटी दे रहे हैं कंपनी और उसका जो अमाउंट है वो एम्प्लॉय का सैलरी से डिडक्ट कर रहे हैं. वी कॉल दैट एज डिडक्शन विच इज नॉट स्टैट्यूटरी इन नेचर. And when it comes to statutory deduction, the deduction something which is as per law. Okay. So for employee, it will be deduction. Okay. So when it is employee, it will be deduction. Okay. And what is contribution? So contribution means something which employer pays for employee. Okay. We had seen here in case of PF, certain thing will be paid by employee and certain thing will be paid by employer. Okay. So whatever is deducted from employee salary in order to remit that as part of PF, we call that as deduction. Okay. And what is contribution? Whatever employer pays for employee. Okay. That we call it as statutory contribution. So this is there in PF as well as ESI. So PF में भी employer का contribution होता है और ESI में भी employer का contribution होता है. Okay. So in simple terms, deduction means for employee share, something is deducted from employee salary. Contribution means something which employer is going to pay for the employee. We call that as contribution. Is this clear? Difference between deduction and contribution? Thank you. So this is very important because a deduction और contribution का differences आपको पता होना चाहिए, क्योंकि as we proceed जब हम pay heads बनाते हैं आपको relevant classification choose करना होगा. When you do that only you will get the relevant pay heads there. Okay. So now contribution and deduction we understood. So in case of PF, the thing will be like this. Employee का PF जो होता है 12% it will be. Okay. And then employer's EPS. Okay. So see, now I told you in case of PF, employee also will contribute and employer will also contribute. Okay. So employee का contribution 12% होता है और जो employer का contribution होता है that will go to EPS account, employer pension scheme account. To this account, they will transfer 8.33% and to PF account, they will transfer 3.67%. Okay. So in case of PF, you will have employee PF 12% and you will have employers 12% will be divided into EPS account 8.33% and PF account 3.67%. Okay. So this is how it will be divided and this is how you can create it. Okay. So now I'll show you in Tally how to do this. Okay. So जो PF का होता है 12%, एम्प्लॉय का 12% डिडक्शन होता है PF अकाउंट के लिए और जो एम्प्लॉयर का होता है वो पेंशन अकाउंट में 8.33% उस अकाउंट पे पे किया जाएगा और PF अकाउंट में 3.67% they will pay. Okay. So this is how it is divided. Both together will be 12% only. So now let us see in Tally how to create this pay heads. Okay. So I have already created some. I'll show you. So first we shall see how to do employee PF. Okay. Before this, the first step what you have to do is enable payroll statutory. Right. So payroll statutory enable करने के लिए आपको F11 features पे जाना होगा. To enable payroll statutory, go to F11 features. And you have an option here, enable payroll statutory. You have to make this option to yes, and you have to give all the necessary details. Okay. So each section, separate things are there, provident fund, ESI, NPS and income tax. So all the registration details the customer has to fill here. For ESI, standard working days is mandatory. If this is not given, ESI will not calculate. I'll come to that later. So now, first step, when somebody tells they want to use payroll statutory, you have to take them to this particular screen and you have to suggest them to फीड इन ऑल द डिटेल्स। यहाँ पे जो डिटेल्स आप देते हैं वो आपका चालान फॉर्म्स और रिटर्न्स पे कैप्चर होगा। सिमिलर टू जीएसटी, हम लोग जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन डिटेल्स F11 में फिल करते हैं और वो डिटेल्स हमको GSTR1 पे आता है, राइट? सिमिलरली whatever details you give for PF here, it will come in your PF returns, challans and forms. So now what I will do is I'll create a payhead for employee PF. I already have it. I'll show you how it will be created. So you will go to create payheads, employee PF at 12%. Okay. So here, while you come to payhead type, you have to choose the appropriate payhead type. Okay. So I had told you, no, there is a difference between deduction and contribution. Whenever you're creating it for employee, you have to create it under deduction. Okay. So employee PF 12%, you will create it under statutory deductions, and then it will be under PF account number 1. So you have different accounts here, and for employee PF, the account is PF account number 1. You have to choose this. Okay. And then it will ask you how it should be calculated. Okay. So it is on something, right? So when it comes here, the customer, if they want it on total earnings, they can choose it as total earnings. If they don't want on total earnings, they want it only on basic salary plus DA, then they can choose on specified formula, add payhead basic salary. If they have DA, again they can do add payhead and add DNS allowance. So whatever customer wants, whichever format they are following, they can choose that respective format. Okay. So we have 4 computation methods here: current deductions, current earnings, current subtotal, that is earning minus deduction, on specified formula. Okay. So how the customer wants to proceed, he can choose. Mostly it will be on current earnings or it will be on specified formula here. Okay. And next, you have to give what is the percentage. So we have told employee PF should get calculated on basic salary. So what percentage it should calculate? It should calculate at 12%. So आपको यहाँ पे 12% देना होगा. Okay. तो हम लोग एम्प्लॉई पीएफ पेहेड क्रिएशन का देख रहे थे. जब भी आप एम्प्लॉई पीएफ पेहेड बनाएंगे, उसे पेहेड टाइप आपको एम्प्लॉई स्टैट्यूटरी डिडक्शंस पे कॉन्फ़िगर करना है. ये करने के बाद आपको स्टैट्यूटरी डिडक्शन टाइप पूछेगा, तो यहाँ पे आपको चूज करना है पीएफ अकाउंट नंबर 1. ओके. ये करने के बाद इसको आप ऑन स्पेसिफाइड फॉर्मूला डिफाइन करेंगे, राइट, एंड बेसिक सैलरी. यदि टोटल अर्निंग्स पे चाहते हैं तो यहाँ पे टोटल अर्निंग्स भी ले सकते हैं, एंड परसेंटेज यू कैन गिव इट एज 12%. ओके, दिस इज वन वे. कुछ कंपनीज में क्या होता है, मतलब वो 12% नहीं होगा. आफ्टर अ सर्टेन अमाउंट, अ सर्टेन फिक्स्ड वैल्यू विल गो टू पीएफ अकाउंट. ओके, इट विल नॉट बी जस्ट 12. यदि आपका सैलरी 15,000 हो तो 12%, 15,000 से ज्यादा आपका सैलरी हो तो फिक्स्ड अमाउंट डिडक्ट करेंगे पीएफ के लिए. तो उसका भी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन हो सकता है. You can give here amount of to 6,500. PF should be 12%. Hello? If the amount is about 12, hello, yes.
हाँ मैम, मुझे ये पूछना था, स्टैट्यूटरी पे मैम स्क्रीन खोलेंगे आप?
या
ये पे टाइप का जो पे हेड टाइप के नीचे ये स्टैट्यूटरी पे टाइप का ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा हमारे में.
F11 पे आपने पेरोल स्टैट्यूटरी इनेबल किया है.
हेलो,
यहाँ पे F11 पे जाना है.
जी.
ओके, और F11 पे यहाँ पे इनेबल पेरोल स्टैट्यूटरी का ऑप्शन रहेगा, इसे यस करना है. तो आ जाएगा.
ओके, थैंक यू मैम.
Okay, and some companies, as I told you, up to a certain amount of salary, it will be 12%. After that, they want to give some fixed value. So that also is possible. They can define this slab also. Up to 6,500, it's 12%. Above 6,500, I want some fixed value. वो भी हो सकता है. And if there is a revision, say suppose they want to, if there is a revision also, there is no product changes required, they can just give the next applicable date. For example, from 1st May, the percentage is different. So you can give 1st May period here and you can define it. Okay. So this is also possible. Yeah, somebody was talking.
हेलो,
Yes.
आपने जो 6,500 लिया है ये आपका बेसिक लिया हुआ है या टोटल ग्रोस का लिया हुआ है?
मैंने अभी बेसिक सैलरी पे डिफाइन कर रही हूँ. यदि टोटल अर्निंग्स पे चाहते हैं तो यहाँ पे चूज कर सकते हैं. यू कैन चूज करंट अर्निंग्स और करंट अर्निंग्स के ऊपर वो 6,500 लेगा. सो हाउएवर आई हैव डिफाइंड, सिस्टम विल कैलकुलेट लाइक दैट.
दैट मींस सी, अगर मान लीजिए मैंने 6,500 यहाँ पे डिफाइन कर दिया ऑन करंट एड्रेस, मेरा ग्रोस सब कुछ ले देके 10,000 आ रहा है, तो ये परसेंटेज पे काम करेगा या फिर मैं 6,000 अबव का जो करूंगा उस पे काम करेगा?
मींस आपका अर्निंग 6,500 से ज्यादा होने पे नो टोटल वैल्यू पे कैलकुलेट होगा. इट इज
टोटल वैल्यू पे और स्पेसिफिक फॉर्मूला पे अगर मैं सिर्फ बेसिक ले रहा हूँ, फॉर एग्जांपल सपोज दैट कि इन द कंप्यूट में मैं सिर्फ एक बेसिक ले रहा हूँ एंड अमाउंट अप टू 6,500 कर दिया फॉर 12%. आफ्टर दैट अबव द 6,500 मैंने कुछ उसके अमाउंट डिसाइड कर दिया कि 1,000 समथिंग इस तरह से डिडक्ट करना है. ठीक है. मेरा ग्रोस सैलरी, मेरा ग्रोस सैलरी है मेरा 10,000 रुपया. ओके. मुझे बेसिक ये सब लगा 10,000 है, तो मेरा वो 1,000 डिडक्ट करेगा या 12% पे डिडक्ट करेगा?
1,000 डिडक्ट करेगा. यदि आपका सैलरी अर्निंग्स 10,000 है तो 1,000 डिडक्ट करेगा, बिकॉज इट इज अबव 6,500. वी आर स्पेसिफाइंग हियर व्हाटएवर वैल्यू इट इज, इट शुड बी 1,000 रुपीस.
मैं मेरे क्वेश्चन में थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज हूँ. अभी आपने करंट टोटल ले लिया है, अब उसको बैक करके एक बार आप बेसिक ले लो, आप सिर्फ ओनली फॉर स्पेसिफिक फॉर्मूला में.
ओके.
जस्ट लाइक द बेसिक. ओके. नाउ आपने ये डिफाइन कर दिया है. अब वैल्यू जो मेरा अबव 6,500 मेरा 1,000 हो जाएगा. ठीक है.
ओके. ओके.
नाउ आई एम गेटिंग 10,000 रुपीज टोटल.
ओके.
Basic, PA, basic, TA, DA, everything, HRA also. So 10,000 is my monthly salary. So वो 12% पे, अब मेरा बेसिक है 4,000 रुपीज, बाकी चीजों को मिला के वो 10,000 हो जा रहा है. अब मेरे क्वेश्चन को समझना, मेरा बेसिक सैलरी जो डिफाइन किया हुआ है सैलरी स्ट्रक्चर में वो बिलो 6,500 है. उसके बाद HRA, TA, DA मिला के वो मेरा 10,000 11,000 हो रहा है. तो ये जो सिस्टम को अगर मैं ये फॉर्मूला सेट करता हूँ तो बेसिक को 6,500 करके 12,000 डिडक्ट करेगा या ग्रोस को देखते हुए वो 10,000 करेगा?
अनंत, राइट?
Yes.
Anand, यहाँ पे here we have specified the formula as basic salary. Okay. So on the, if the basic salary is below, it's only basic salary. If I give here basic salary, system will look only for basic salary value. It will not see what is your HRA, DA, वो सभी नहीं देखेगा. यदि आपका एग्जाम्पल पे आप बोल रहे थे आपका बेसिक सैलरी 4,000 है तो वो आपको 12% लेगा. Okay. Even if your salary is up to 1 lakh, but here I'm telling only take basic salary into consideration. So system will look for only this value.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, welcome.
And is it attendance specific?
It depends on the configuration. Now see what happens is if basic salary is based on attendance, this calculation also will depend on attendance. Okay. This is not specific to attendance.
Formula. So if the attendance is full, then it calculates correctly. But if there are some unpaid leaves, then the calculation remains same. So how can I get that corrected?
Calculation remains same in the sense?
The calculation of PF remains same according to the full month salary. It does not work on attendance. If the attendance is for October, the employees attendance is 29 days, right?
Okay.
Instead of 31. So the PF amount would be calculated according to 31 days attendance only, not 29. So how can we make it attendance specific?
Let me check that, Deepa. I think it should work. Let us check when we make vouchers.
Okay.
So this is employee PF at 12%. And after that, we saw the next pay head was employer EPS at 8.33%. So here when you're choosing, you should be careful. you should choose employer statutory contribution. ये choose करने के बाद when you press enter, it will ask you for this which account. So this is EPS account. So you will choose EPS account number 10. Okay. And then you will choose whatever it is, and the same thing like we did for employee PF, we will also do the same thing here, and we will give the percentage as 8.33%. The next one is employer EPS at 3.67%. Okay. So here, while we are configuring this, we will make one small change. So मैंने आपको I had shown to you all employee PF is 12% and minus 8.33 when you do, the balance what you will get is 3.67. Okay. So this particular employer PF is your employee PF 12% minus EPS 8.33%. Okay. Or you can directly take it as 3.67 on basic salary. I can also do like this. Basic salary, on basic salary, I can configure it as 3.67%. Okay. But what will happen is, here it is 8.33 and here it is 3.67. Sometimes due to decimals, you may find some slight difference. In that difference, your employee PF and employer PF will not match. Okay. So in order to adjust this decimal differences, whenever you're creating pay head for employer EPS at 3.67%, the formula will be this. What is the formula? The formula you have to set is on specified formula. So whatever is the value of employee PF 12%, from that deduct employer EPS 8.33%. So 12 minus 8.33 is 3.67, right? Here, since it is value, in order to avoid the decimal differences, you can configure like this. Add pay head employee PF 12%. Subtract pay head employer EPS at 8.33%, and whatever value is there, 100% should go to EPS account. Okay. So only when you're configuring this pay head, you will choose this formula. I'll repeat it in Hindi. जब आप एम्प्लॉयर का ईपीएस एम्प्लॉयर पीएफ 3.67 इट्स नॉट ईपीएस इट्स एम्प्लॉयर पीएफ 3.67 का पे हेड बना रहे हैं. ओके. तो 3.67 का जब आप पे हेड बनाएंगे तो हो सकता है ड्यू टू बिकॉज 8.33 और ए 3.67 है, थोड़ा डेसिमल में डिफरेंसेस आ सकता है. उसे अवॉइड करने के लिए आप फॉर्मूला जब सेट करेंगे इस तरह करेंगे. तो आपका फॉर्मूला होगा एड पे हेड एम्प्लॉई पीएफ एट 12%, सबट्रैक्ट दैट विद एम्प्लॉयर ईपीएस एट 8.33%. इसमें जो भी वैल्यू आएगा 100% विल गो टू employer PF at the rate 3.67%. Okay. So only when you are doing this particular pay head, this will be the formula, and then you can save it. Okay. So we have completed these three pay heads. We created pay head for PF, EPS and employer PF at 3.67%.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, excuse me.
Yeah, tell me.
मैम एक बार ये आप फिर से बता सकते हो?
ये 3.67 का.
हाँ मैम.
ओके. हाँ, मैं क्या बता रही थी अभी, जो आपका पीएफ का 12% इक्वल कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है, राइट? एम्प्लॉय का 12 और एम्प्लॉयर का 12% होता है. एम्प्लॉय का जो 12 है वो कंप्लीटली पीएफ अकाउंट पे हम जमा करते हैं, सो इट गोज देयर डायरेक्टली. पर जो एम्प्लॉयर का है वो दो अकाउंट पे जाएगा. एक होगा ईपीएस अकाउंट और दूसरा होगा पीएफ अकाउंट. ओके. और ईपीएस अकाउंट में जो भी कंट्रीब्यूशन है 8.33% करेंगे और पीएफ अकाउंट में 3.67% को कंट्रीब्यूशन होगा. समटाइम्स क्या हो सकता है, ड्यू टू डेसिमल देयर विल बी स्लाइट डिफरेंस इन वैल्यूज. ओके. In order to avoid that difference and adjust that 12 with this 12%, when you're creating employer PF 3.67, it is under employer statutory contribution पे बनाएंगे. और आपका जो फॉर्मूला होगा employee PF 12%, उसमें से आप एम्प्लॉयर ईपीएस 8.33% को माइनस करेंगे. ओके, सो 12 माइनस 8.33 3.67 आपको आ जाएगा. इसका जो भी वैल्यू है 100% इसी पे हेड का है, राइट. We are not computing it, we are just deducting these two values और जो भी वैल्यू आएगा वो इस पे हेड का है, तो इसलिए हम यहाँ पे परसेंटेज 100% देंगे इसे. Is this clear?
Excuse me. Hello, excuse me.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Madam, could you please show me employer share 8.33% once again?
Okay, sure. The employer EPS 8.33%.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. So now,
Hello.
in addition to
हेलो
yes.
मैडम एक बार एंटर करके दिखाइए प्लीज, एक बार उसको एंटर कर दीजिए.
कौन सा वाला?
एम्प्लॉयर
EPS का?
8.33% आगे वाला, ये
ये
एम्प्लॉयर जस्ट एंटर. ओके नहीं मैडम, 1 सेकंड. ईपीएस अकाउंट नंबर 10 एक बार बैठ जाइए ना प्लीज.
Here, okay.
ओके, पीएफ नंबर अकाउंट 1 and नंबर 1. ओके थैंक यू.
Okay, so this
indirect expense है मैडम.
Yeah, it's an expense to the company, so it will be indirect expenses.
Okay, employer 8.33% and 3.67 दोनों under
expenses.
Expenses.
और ये जो 12% का होगा, it will be a liability because you're deducting from his salary. You're supposed to pay to the department, so employee का it will be liability.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So next, what happens is now in addition to this, in case of PF, since department is maintaining your PF account, you should make some additional charges to the department. Okay. So PF में हमने पढ़ा एम्प्लॉय का 12% होगा और एम्प्लॉयर का 12% होगा. ओके, इसके एडिशन में जो पीएफ अकाउंट डिपार्टमेंट मेंटेन करते हैं उनको 2 एडिशनल चार्जेस पे करना होता है कंपनी को. तो दैट पीएफ अदर चार्जेस आई विल शो यू हाउ टू क्रिएट इट. Whoever is not talking, please be on mute. There is a lot of disturbance. Okay, so there are 2 more other charges. So since department is maintaining your PF account, there is some admin charges and contribution which you have to make. First one is called EDLI contribution. Okay, so ये 0.5% का होता है and this is on PF gross. So whatever PF amount you're paying, PF amount, on that 0.5% will be the PF other charges which you have to pay to the department. The company has to pay it to the department. Okay, so this you have to create it under employers other charges. This employers other charges. Okay, and then it will go to EDLI contribution account number 21. Please, whoever are not talking, please be on mute. So this will go to EDLI contribution account number 21. Okay, and then this is on PF gross and the percentage will be 0.5%. So whatever PF value is there, no, on that 0.5% will be the EDLI contribution value. So this you have to create it. So this is PF other charges. In that the first one is EDLI contribution, which is, and you have to create it under employers other charges and EDLI contribution account number 21. Okay. So this is one page.
On PF gross का
वो automatically लेगा sir PF gross. If you take other charges, by default it will be allocated on the PF gross.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
And in addition to this, there is one more thing. Okay, that is called EDLI admin charges. Okay, so one is EDLI contribution, the second one is EDLI admin charges. Okay, both are 0.5% only. Okay, so employer other charges पे AB आएगा और इसका टाइप होगा EDLI admin charges, okay, which is 0.5%. Earlier, when you see the other charges, there were 3 other charges. You had to pay admin charges, EDLI admin, and EDLI contribution. But now this admin charges is not applicable. Only these 2 are applicable. So first one we already saw. And the second one is EDLI admin charges, account number 22. So this is also on PF cross, okay? And here what happens is minimum 2 rupees you can contribute per employee. So that option is also available in Tally. If you make contribute 2 rupees, so if the value is below 2 rupees, minimum it will take 2 rupees per employee. And PF cross, the percentage again here is 0.5%. Okay, so 2 other charges, PF other charges. One is EDLI contribution 0.5%, EDLI admin charges 0.5%. So I'm saving this. So these are all the pay heads which is required for PF. Okay, so we saw employee PF, employer EPS, employer PF 3.67%, and there are 2 PF other charges. One is EDLI other charges and other one is EDLI admin charges. So these are all the pay heads required for PF. In addition to that, you will create one more pay head for PF payable. Okay, so PF payable का एक pay head बनाना है. Like you would have seen, no, last session we showed you salary payable का एक pay head बनाने के लिए. I'll show you how to create it. You will go to create pay heads, PF payable. Okay, something like this. And pay head type, you have to choose it as not applicable. Okay, and under you should choose it as current liability. So wherever you're creating payable pay head, salary, PF, ESI, all the things, it will be the same. Pay head type. Okay, whoever is not talking, please be on mute. Okay, so
हेलो
here, yes.
मैडम प्रोविजन भी सेलेक्ट कर सकता है क्या?
Sir, usually current liabilities पे ही होगा. Provision मतलब when you're paying it, see next month का अभी ही provision करना चाहते हैं तो you can create it. Like February you will create provision for March salary. So then you will put it under provision. But it is a rare scenario. Usually it will be current liabilities. There is no restriction. If people want to show, they can show it, but mostly it will not be used. It will be under current liabilities.
Okay, madam. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So PF, ESI, salary payable, everything like this only you have to create. Pay head type not applicable under my current liabilities. Okay. So this is all about PF. Okay. So after you do this, you have to add the PF pay head and employee salary right? Wherever you define salary for employee, you have to add PF related pay heads. When you're adding it, the order should be like this. Okay. The first one should be employee PF at 12%. Okay. And then you have to choose employer EPS at 8.33 and then 3.67. Okay. क्योंकि ये जो 3.67 है, the value is dependent on these two. This minus this is 3.67, right? So when you're arranging it, first you will arrange PF 12%, EPS 8.33%, and then you will arrange PF 3.67%. Okay. Other charges, it will not come here. It is a separate voucher which you have to make for other charges. I'll show that later. Okay. In salary, you will be adding only these 3 pay heads. Is this clear? PF?
Clear.
Okay.
Clear, ma'am.
Thank you. So we'll proceed now for ESI. Okay. So now let us proceed for ESI.
Madam, hello.
Yes.
मैडम एक एंट्री पास करके दिखा सकता है?
हाँ सर, मैं ESI का भी बना के दोनों एक साथ दिखा. I'll show you both together. Okay. Is this fine? So we will understand now ESI concept, how to create pay heads for ESI. After that, I'll show you with vouchers also. Together, we'll see one cycle of payroll. Okay. So next one is about ESI, Employee State Insurance. Employee state insurance is one of the two main statutory social security bodies under the ownership of Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India. The other one being Employee Provident Fund. So for employees, these two things are the social security bodies which has been from Government of India. First one was PF and second one is ESI. Okay. In case of ESI, just give me 1 minute. Okay. So, in case of ESI, it is again two things, statutory deductions. So, deduction from employee will be 1.75%. And then from employer, it will be 4.75%. Okay. So from employee salary, it will be 1.75 and employers, it will be 4.75. For ESI, there is again two more rules. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Somebody has a question?
जो परसेंटेज है ना, परसेंटेज चेंज हो चुके हैं 0.75% फॉर द एम्प्लॉई ESIC एंड एम्प्लॉय 1 3.25%. Please make a change.
Changed. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, 3.25.
25%.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect.
So now, yeah. So now there are two more rules which we have to know about ESI. The first one is when the employee's earning is less than 137 a day, then they are exempted from their contribution. Okay, employees' contribution will not be there. And the next one, the ceiling for salary. So if somebody's earnings is about 21,000, then ESI will not be applicable to them. Okay. Earlier, this was 15%. So now this is increased to 15,000. So now it is increased to 21,000. So if somebody's salary is above 21,000, then ESI will not be deducted from their salary. Okay. So now let us see how to create pay heads for this. Okay. So now I'll go to pay head creation. So employee ESI at 0.75%. Okay. So here we have this option, employee statutory deduction and statutory pay head type, employee state insurance. Okay. And the percentage here, you can define the percentage. I have taken it on current.
Madam, sorry, madam. Employee ESI 0.575, 1.75.
Actually, I had taken it as 1.75 and I think Ketan sir told it is changed now to 0.75. So I'm taking as per that, sir.
Actually,
you can check
yes. Actually, ESI employee 1.75, 0.75.
Abhi 0.75. The latest.
Okay. Employer contribution for ESI 3.25. Total 4%.
So whatever percentage is there, you can define it here.
Okay. Thank you.
So it is same like PF. You will create employee statutory deductions and we will create it under employee state insurance. Okay. And जब आप employer का pay head बनाएंगे, if it is employer ESI. $3.25. So this also, you will create pay head type as employer statutory contribution and statutory pay head type employee state insurance. Okay. So like this, you can create the pay heads. So whatever percentage is applicable, the percentage can be provided here. Okay. So now we have completed with pay heads for ESI also, and you can create one pay head for ESI payable as well. Okay. So like we saw PF payable, you will create a pay head for ESI payable. Pay head type will be not applicable, and you will create it under current liabilities.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Could you please show me once again the employee ESI deduction?
Yes, I'll show that. Employee ESI.
ESI.
Okay.
So here, this is net salary. It will not affect. Maybe because employee salary, whatever amount they are deducting, that salary
Yes,
will be
sir.
deducted from salary, no?
Yeah, I'm taking it as current earnings, sir. So whatever earnings is there, on that I'm defining this. If they wanted to specify
I'm not asking this one. Whatever amount here comes, that amount will be deducted from employee salary.
Yes, sir, correct.
No, I am not asking percentage. You given some percentage.
This one you're telling affect net salary, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, if you want this to be, yeah, this should be yes, and this will be printed on your payslip. If you want to show this value in the payslip as a deduction, you can enable this option.
And also, employer PF salary, PF amount is there, na? That will be deduct, and it will affect net salary, madam.
It will not be part of your affect net salary.
Please show me employer PF 8.33 or 8.33. It will affect or not?
This is not part of your net salary. So it's part of your CTC, but it will not be part of your net salary.
Oh, thank you.
So next, we'll create one pay head for this.
Madam, can I get this recording webinar? Is this possible for my process?
Yeah, it will be shared, sir. You can leave your email ID in the chat. You can leave your email ID in the chat. Nagesh will mail it to you.
We already put the chat, but chat is disabled, I think so.
Is it? Okay. I will ask them to share it with you, sir.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now ESI payable, you will make the pay head type as not applicable, and you will create this under current liabilities. And then you can save this particular pay head. So now we have created pay heads for ESI, PF, right? And the next one, it will be professional tax. We'll finish this and then we shall see the salary structure flow. We'll make the vouchers and see. So next structure is about professional tax. Okay. So professional tax is also a deduction from employee. Okay. So professional tax is a state specific tax. Each state will have different slabs and rate. Okay. So professional tax, you will create it under statutory deductions and pay head type will be professional tax. Okay. So and then the company's registration number can be given here. And the slab will be there. Okay. So professional tax usually will be on a slab up to certain percentage, certain value of your salary. The professional tax will not be applicable. After that, it will be applicable at some value. Okay. Percentage or value. Each state this will differ. So you can check what is your state professional tax value and you can configure the slab rates here. Okay. So this is how professional tax pay head should be created. So once after you complete this, you have to add these pay heads also to employee salary. Okay. So you will be adding ESI of employer and employee, right? And then professional tax should be added. Okay. So income tax we'll add it later. So each employee,
मैसेज होता बैठो
people who are not having
पड़े
any questions, please be on mute. Okay. So now I have added this as part of the salary. Yes.
Hello. Madam, can you show me professional tax payment?
So professional tax, employee statutory deductions.
Okay, thank you.
So now we have completed with pay head creation. We have added this as part of salary. Now let us process payroll vouchers. Okay. So first payroll voucher, you will make it for salary. So whenever you're making payroll voucher, the first voucher will be for salary. After that, you can make it for ESI, PF and other things. Okay. So now let us make payroll voucher for salary. I'll process it for the month of May. Okay. Let me check if any vouchers are already processed. Okay. We don't have. So I'll go here. I'll make a payroll voucher for the month of May. Okay. Autofill, payroll, salary. Okay. There is something called compute on declared or proof value. I'll tell you what is this when we do income tax. Okay. And then from period to period, employee details. And this value, you will transfer it to salary payable. Okay. Just give me 1 second.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. For disabled person, the ESI limit is 25,000. Can you please show me how to configure that in Tally?
It will take by default. So when salary is about 21,000, by default, Tally will not calculate ESI. You need not have to specify it somewhere.
Okay.
I made a payment voucher. Okay, you can see here. This employee, it is below 21,000. So ESI is getting deducted here. But this employee, Kavya, her salary is about 21,000. So by default, Tally will not deduct ESI. Okay, so we have made a payroll voucher. You can see PF is deducted, ESI is deducted for whomever it is applicable, and then professional tax is also deducted based on the salary. Is this clear?
Hi,
हेलो
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, you can.
आपने ESI जैसे कि क्या दो आपने डिफाइन किया था, ठीक है?
हाँ.
आपने ESI दो बनाया था.
Correct.
हेलो.
हाँ, या करेक्ट.
जैसे लेजर में मैं देख पा रहा हूँ, जैसे कविता का हो या काव्या का, तो कविता सिर्फ यहाँ पे ESI का सिर्फ एक ही पार्ट दिख रहा है.
I'll tell you why it is. तो क्योंकि ये जो है सिर्फ डिडक्शन एम्प्लॉई का लाइक अर्निंग्स और डिडक्शंस इस वाउचर पे पे होगा. ओके. और जो एम्प्लॉयर का कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो दूसरा जो पे हेड था एम्प्लॉयर कंट्रीब्यूशन का था, उसके लिए हमको दूसरा वाउचर करना पड़ेगा. आई विल शो यू दैट वाउचर.
बट बाय द वे आपने इसे ओके मैं समझ गया. बाय द वे इसको आपने पीएफआई इसे डिडक्शन एंड कंट्रीब्यूशन आपने लेजर में डिफाइन, उसका सैलरी में डिफाइन किया था. बट
करेक्ट. हाँ, मैंने दोनों डिफाइन किया है.
Please continue.
Payroll voucher only deductions will come. Now we shall make one more voucher for contribution. Okay. So the next voucher
Excuse me,
after this.
Anita.
Yes.
We had to check the attendance also, as I mentioned earlier.
I'll come
Whether
to
it
that
is
detail.
attendance, yeah.
Sure. That is noted. Once I finish this, we'll see that for June month. Yeah. So now, next will be your PF payments, right? PF contribution के लिए और एक voucher बनाना पड़ेगा. Okay. So PF contribution के लिए again payroll, autofill, and here you have to choose PF contribution. Okay. And then you will give the period, and then you will choose PF payable. Okay. So that was for employee earning and deduction. And now this is for employer contribution, another payroll voucher, autofill. You have to choose it for PF contribution. Okay. So here you can see the other two pay heads which we created for EPS and PF. So that voucher, that pay heads will get listed in this voucher. Okay. So this is for making payroll voucher for PF contribution. After you make this, similarly, you should make one more voucher for ESI also. That is also similar. Make autofill, payroll autofill. Yes, I.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
हेलो मैम.
Yes, Aditya. Yeah, Aditya, tell me.
मैम आपने एचआरए का लेजर बनाया था. टीएड.
Yes.
हाँ मैम एक बार दिखा सकते हैं आप?
हाँ मैं दिखाती हूँ. ये होने के बाद दिखाती हूँ.
ओके मैम.
तो अभी हम ESI का कंट्रीब्यूशन, सो एम्प्लॉयर का जो ESI कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है, वी हैव टू मेक पे हेड फॉर दैट. सो वील गिव द पीरियड, राइट, and then you will choose the pay head payroll ledger as ESI payable. Okay. And ESI only 2 employees it is applicable, only for those 2 it will show here. Okay. Once you save this, your ESI employer contribution is also completed. Okay. So we did 3 vouchers now. The first voucher was for salary, right? The second voucher, we did it for PF contribution. And the third voucher, we did it for ESI contribution. So हमारा 3 voucher अभी बन गया है हमारा payroll process में. Is this clear till now? Any doubts till now?
मैडम वो प्रोफेशनल टैक्स का
वो तो डिडक्शन है ना एम्प्लॉय का, तो वो पेरोल वाउचर पे ही आ जाएगा.
तो वो पेमेंट नहीं करना.
पेमेंट करना है. आई विल शो दैट लेटर. पेमेंट कैसे करना है, नेक्स्ट स्टेप विल सी द पेमेंट्स. Okay. So now we have deducted everything. We have contributed. The next step, we have to pay whatever we have to the department or to the employee. So for that, we will be making payment voucher. Okay. Before that, I told you there is something called PF other charges. हमने PF other charges का 2 pay heads बनाया था, right? We had made EDLI admin charges and EDLI contribution. हमें इसका एक वाउचर बनाना है. Okay, we have to even account this particular charges. तो इसे आप जर्नल में बनाना है. Okay, PF other charges के लिए you have to make a journal voucher. Okay, you should go to journal. Again, it is autofill. Everywhere it is autofill. In type of transaction, you have to choose PF other charges. Give the period for which you are taking it. Okay. Choose the employee. Okay. And then this admin charges, now it is not applicable. So keep the first one as not applicable. Other 2 we have pay heads. EDLI का हमारे पास pay head है. EDLI admin charges का भी हमारा pay head है. We have pay heads for EDLI contribution, EDLI admin charges. So once you do this, your PF other charges is also accounted. Okay. So your PF other charges are also accounted. Now, everything together, you have to pay to the PF department. Employee deduction, employer contribution, other charges. This 3 together, you should make a payment voucher. So how to make payment voucher? EDLI, you all understood EDLI thing, right? You should make a journal voucher for it. So this is how you will make journal. Now we have deducted something, we have contributed, we also have other charges. Everything together, we should make one payment voucher for the department. So you will be making a payment voucher, autofill, payroll autofill, okay? And here you can choose whatever you're paying. If you're first paying salary, you will choose salary payment. From salary payable. Cash or bank. So this is your salary payable voucher. The next payment what you will make is for your PF or ESI. Okay. So again payroll autofill, PF, challan. Okay. Your PF will get deducted. So you can see here PF payable. This is your employer contribution. And then you have your employee PF. And you also have PF admin charges. All the things together, one voucher, it will automatically come. आपको सिर्फ autofill करना है. Provide details, yes. And you have to fill in the challan details here. So ये आपका PF का बन गया. And next, what we have is, we have ESI payment. Again, it's a payment voucher. Autofill, payroll autofill, ESI, right? And then I choose ESI payable. Okay. So इसका भी एक voucher बन गया. This is the complete cycle. You make payroll voucher, salary, contribution, other charges. After that, you will make payment vouchers to pay the value to the department.
A professional tax.
Yeah, it is same thing. Again, payment, autofill, professional tax. This is your professional tax payment. Same thing. If you have income tax also, it is the same thing. I'll cover that when I'm doing income tax. I'll also show you income tax payment. Yes.
मैम TDS का कैसे होगा?
Next to TDS का ही आएगा. I'll take that. So now coming to Deepa's question, we will see how it works when the attendance is on present days. Okay. So first I will do is I will change the attendance type to present days. Okay. This is one change I'm making. So one employee, let us make it for June. Okay. For first I'll make attendance voucher. Vouchers, attendance. We'll take Kavita. Kavita is present only for 5 days. Okay. For in the month of June. So this is for 30th June. Kavita is present for 5 days. I'll make other vouchers. Payroll, autofill, salary, Kavita, salary payable. It is taking on present days only. Now she's present for 5 days, so her salary is 2,000. On this, it is taking 12%, 240 rupees. Deepa, is this clear?
Yes, it is clear. But I was facing an actual issue when there was a cap of 1800 PF.
Okay.
So I fix up an amount of 1800 for those the basic salary is above 15,000. So in that case, it is not calculating properly.
So we'll define that and check once. So on basic salary, up to
there is
1800 is
that up to 15,000.
Okay.
There is a percentage defined, and above 15,000, it is 1800 fixed.
So then we'll make for some employee whose salary is above 15,000. Okay.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
No, I am just checking that. So you want to see if his salary comes below that, is it taking 12% or not?
Yes.
Let us take for employee Kavya.
And if the salary is more than that, more than 15,000, the basic salary, then also if it is calculating according to the attendance or not.
So now let us take for the month of June for Kavya. So Kavya in June will take, she's present for all the days. Just to see how the calculation is happening. Then we'll make for July. Sorry, 30th June. Okay. So now Kavya is present for 30 days in June. Autofill salary June. Okay. Salary payable. I should make it only for, sorry. Autofill, payroll, autofill, salary. Yeah. So now it is taking 1800, which is correct. Okay. So now what I will do is, for the month of July, 31st July, attendance voucher, Kavya, present only for 2 days. Other payroll, autofill, salary for July, Kavya. So now it is taking 619. 516 1.29 into 12 divided by 100. I think it's coming correct, Deepa. If you have the data where it was not happening, we can, I think we can see that and check why it was not happening. Maybe the methods are different. Do you have the data?
Yeah, probably some setting issue is there. No, I'm not logged in right now.
We can, yeah, if you have any time, you can write to support. We will check that, Deepa.
Sure, thank you.
हेलो
Yes.
हाँ जी मैम मैम मेरा एक डाउट है हम इसमें एडवांस कैसे मैनेज करेंगे
हाँ मैं वो दिखाती हूँ एडवांस एम्प्लॉय को जो अटेंडेंस एडवांस दिया है उसे पूछ रहे हैं
मैम आपकी आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है
whatever advance you have paid to employee, like थोड़ा explain कर सकते हैं क्या process है वो advance का somebody asked question related to advance no
मैम एडवांस का प्रोसेस जैसे एम्प्लॉय कुछ एडवांस ले लेता है अपनी सैलरी में से तो वो एडवांस जब उसे सैलरी दी जाती है तो कट के दिया जाता है जो नेट दिया जाता है वो एडवांस कट के मिलता है
करेक्ट so उसका process okay I'll show that so जब ये एडवांस दिया होता है एम्प्लॉय को उनसे जब वो एडवांस को रिटर्न करते हैं ओके तो एक पे हेड बनाना पड़ेगा advances yes ma'am
Hello, ma'am.
yeah tell me Shruti.
Okay. As per the current system, the ESI limit for disabled person was 25,000. How to configure that in Tally?
For disabled person it is 25,000 is it also not very sure let me check this and come back to you can you drop your email ID in chat
Okay, ma'am.
तो आपको एक ऐसे पे हेड बनाना पड़ता है लोन्स एंड एडवांसेस के अंदर ओके एंड इसमें आपको कैलकुलेशन टाइप यदि वो जो लोन एडवांस एम्प्लॉय जब पे करेगा, यदि वो आपको फिक्स्ड आपका कुछ है, लाइक एवरी मंथ उसका सैलरी से 5,000 डिडक्ट होगा, तो आप कैलकुलेशन टाइप फ्लैट रेट रख सकते हैं। ओके, यदि ऐसे नहीं है, कुछ एक महीने वो बता देगा मैं आज इस महीने 5,000 कर लीजिए, नेक्स्ट मंथ 10,000 कीजिए, जब वो when that value is not fixed, you can keep it as user defined. Okay, when he tells deduct 10% of basic salary for repayment of my loan, then you can do that also as computed value, specified formula, basic salary 10%. Okay, so how the employee is going to repay that loan, based on that you have to configure the calculation type here.
हेलो
Okay, after doing this, yes,
हेलो मैम।
yeah, tell me.
मैम ये एडवांस का तो मुझे समझ में आ गया है, मेरा एक और डाउट है मैम। मेरा दूसरा डाउट है ओटी, ओवर टाइम।
Okay, okay,
कोई एम्प्लॉय ओवर टाइम कर रहा है तो उसका कैसे मैनेज किए?
okay. और ओवर टाइम के लिए आप उसे कैसे पे कर रहे हैं, पर डे सैलरी या आर्ली
मैम
बेसिस
ओवर
सैलरी?
टाइम जो होता है हम उसमें घंटे डालते हैं कि कितने घंटे के उसने ओवर टाइम किया है, और ओवर टाइम जो है ना वो डबल मिलता है।
डबल पे मिलता है सैलरी के ऊपर। There are two ways of doing it, Aditya. I'll show that. ये आपको समझ में आ गया loans and advances का?
हेलो,
Did you understand loans and advances?
हाँ मैम, हाँ ये एडवांस वाला समझ में आ गया।
Okay. अभी हम ओवर टाइम का दिखाती हूँ मैं। जब भी आपको ओवर टाइम होता है, उसके लिए भी आपको एक पे हेड करना है। उसका पहले आपको वर्क यूनिट्स क्रिएट करना है। ओके, इन केस ऑफ ओवर टाइम, यदि आप आर्ली बेसिस पे कर रहे हैं, तो आपको एक यूनिट बनाना पड़ेगा। फर्स्ट स्टेप, गो टू क्रिएट यूनिट्स आज। ऑलरेडी मेरे पास है, इसलिए वो डुप्लीकेट शो कर रहा है। या डेज के ऊपर है तो डेज, या प्रोडक्शन कितना नंबर ऑफ पीसेस करता है उसके ऊपर पे करते हैं। तो पहले आपको कस्टमर से समझना पड़ेगा व्हाट इज द पेमेंट मेथड। सो इफ इट इज आवर्स, यू विल टेक इट एज आवर्स हियर। ओके, तो आवर्स लेने के बाद आपको एक अटेंडेंस टाइप बनाना पड़ेगा ओवर टाइम के लिए। ओके, पहले यूनिट्स बनाएंगे, नेक्स्ट यू विल क्रिएट अटेंडेंस प्रोडक्शन टाइप एज ओवर टाइम। I already have this also. I'll show you that. So आपको एक ओवर टाइम का ये बनाना पड़ेगा, अटेंडेंस प्रोडक्शन टाइप, and here you have to choose it as production. Okay, so second step, you have to create attendance production type, and then unit will be hours. Okay, and the next step, you have to create a pay head for overtime. First you created units, second you created attendance production type, and the third one you will be creating pay head. So go to create pay heads overtime. Okay, and overtime you can create it under earnings for employees. Okay, and then it is an expense to the company. Calculation type, you have to take it as on production, and you can mention it as overtime. Okay, so you can mention this as production type as overtime. After doing this, you have to go to the employee, employee salary definition. Okay, and you have to add overtime here. Okay, you should add, it should be on top actually, and you can give whatever you are paying per hour. Okay, for per hour you are paying 300 rupees, so you can give 300 here. Per hour overtime he works, you are giving him 20 rupees, so you can give 20 rupees here. Okay, first we created units, attendance production type, next pay head, fourth step we are defining it in the salary. Okay, after you do this, you have to make a attendance voucher. Okay, other vouchers पे जाना है, and you will make a attendance voucher. Which
Hello?
employee did we add the?
हेलो मैम।
Yes. Yeah, tell me.
मैम ओटी में मुझे ये पूछना था जब आप 20 की वैल्यू फिक्स कर रहे हो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि मैम सैलरी का ऑटोमेटिक ले ले वो डबल।
वो भी हो सकता है, I'll show that,
मैम
but
बताइए
it is
प्लीज।
little complicated है, I'll show that to you. पहले ये एक
मैम
ये
बता
बता के
दीजिएगा।
मैं बताती हूँ, I'll show that. So here, see, so whatever hours he has worked overtime, say suppose he has worked 3 hours, you have to make attendance type for 3 hours. Okay, so you should make attendance type for 3 hours, and after that you should make a payroll voucher, which is regular one. This is one way of configuring overtime. Okay, this is one way. Another way what you can do is, what he was telling to me is, अभी मेरा एक एम्प्लॉई है, एम्प्लॉई का सैलरी 30,000 है. Okay, if this employee works overtime, his salary will be double. He will get double pay. Okay, so now for this you have to make some calculations. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I have Kavita. Her salary is 30,000. Okay, for how many days this 30,000 is? It is for 30 days, right? So this salary, whatever I'm defining, it is for a month. So first breakup, what you should do is, how much is salary per day? Okay, so you'll do 30,000 divided by, okay, 30. When you do this, her per day salary is how much? It is 1,000 rupees. Okay, now this is for 1 day. Now what is the salary per hour? You have to find out. Okay, and you have to, after you do per hour whatever is the salary, you have to multiply that with 2 to derive double pay. Okay, abhi 9 hours ke liye somebody will get 100% of salary. Okay, if that person is working for 1 hour, what percentage of salary will he get? Okay, Kavita works for 9 hours. She will get 100% of per day salary. Okay, now Kavita works for 1 hour. How much percentage of salary will she get? You have to calculate this. Okay, so how you will calculate? You have to cross multiply. Okay, so you will do 1 into 100 divided by 9. Okay, so it is around 11%. Okay, so this is equal to this into 9 hours. She will get 100% of salary. So like this, you should ask customer what is work hours. If it is 10 hours, you have to do this for 10 hours. Okay, so now she will get this much if it is common pay. If it should be double pay, this you have to multiply with 2. Okay, for double pay. So you will do 11 into 2. So per hour, she will get 22% of per day's salary. So this is one calculation which you are supposed to do in that particular method. Okay, so then how you will create overtime? So you will create pay head, overtime, new. Okay, this will be as computed value on what? On specified formula. So basic salary. Okay, so first I'm taking basic salary, and this is for 1 month. First thing what I have to do is, I have to derive what is salary per day. Divide by attendance present. Okay, so if I do like this, I will get per day salary, right? So this formula I will get per day salary, and then you will multiply this with attendance over time. How many hours she has worked, she has to get that much salary, right? So you will per day, to get per day salary, you will do basic salary, divide by attendance present, multiply with attendance overtime, so that how much ever overtime hours she has worked, she will get that much. Okay. But she is not supposed to get full salary because she is working only for on hourly basis. So the percentage you have to define here. If it is double pay, it will be 22.22%. Okay. So basic salary divided by present, you will get per day salary. Multiply that with overtime. Whatever value comes here, 22% she will get it for per hour. So something like this you have to calculate and then define it. So only then it will come. This is one way of doing it. If you don't want this, the easy method is what I showed you that time, right? You can go to the salary details and you can define whatever should be hourly salary. That way you can do it. Did you understand?
यस मैम, थैंक यू मैम. बस टीडीएस बता देना मैम.
हाँ श्योर बता.
ओके.
Okay, so far any question did I tell? I will take it up later. I think one question I missed. Okay, Deepa's question is answered. Anybody else? Any question? You can ask now. Otherwise, we will move on to income tax. So we'll, if you remember in between also, you put it in the chat panel. We will see. Arvind, you have any question? You have raised your hand. Arvind from Smart Info. If you have question, you can unmute and ask.
Hello.
Okay, I'll move to income tax. Sure. Okay.
हेलो.
Yes.
ये रिइंबर्समेंट की एंट्री कैसे होती है और क्या उस पे होता है?
हाँ, रीइंबर्समेंट के लिए भी आपको पे हेड बनाना पड़ेगा. So you will create a pay head. Medical reimbursement. कुछ भी reimbursement. और इसे आपको reimbursement to employees पे बनाना पड़ेगा. एंड कैसे है? यूजर डिफाइंड हो तो यूजर डिफाइंड. यूजुअली ये यूजर डिफाइंड होगा क्योंकि ये फिक्सेड नहीं रहेगा. यदि फिक्सेड हो तो फिक्सेड ऐसे कौन सा में है, यू कैन डिफाइन द कैलकुलेशन टाइप और इसे आप सैलरी पे ऐड कर सकते हैं तो आपका पेरोल वाउचर पे आ जाएगा. Understood this? Amit asked this question, right? So it's a pay head and जैसे आपने earnings deduction से वैसे ही आपको salary details पे उसे ऐड करना है. So we'll move on to income tax. So income tax, I will not go much into the statutory things. I'll show you in product what and all, because statutory is available everywhere. In product, what is that you have to do for income tax, that I will show to you. So as we all know, for income tax, currently we have two systems. One is the old tax regime and the next one is new tax regime. Okay. So in Tally, anytime you can change from old tax regime to new tax regime or new tax regime to old tax regime. That configuration is available in the employee master. Okay. So now first I will show you what are all the things will be there in the old tax regime. And then we will see what are all the things we will have it in new tax regime. Okay. These are the tax slabs. So let us see what is that you have to do it in Tally. Okay. The first step in case of income taxes, you have to declare an employee will be under old tax regime or new tax regime. Okay. So from where you can do it? You can do it from the employee master. You can go to the employee master and here you have an option. What is the applicable tax regime? Is it old tax regime or is it new tax regime? So you can choose it here. Okay. As soon as you choose, it will ask you from which date it is applicable, because last year somebody would have chosen regular tax regime and this year he would ask for new tax regime. So whichever tax regime the employee wants, that can be defined here. Okay. So I'm choosing regular tax regime for Kavita. And Kavya is also under regular tax regime. And for Raghav, we will choose new tax regime. Okay. So in employee master, you can define what is the tax regime applicable. Okay. And Ramesh also, I will choose whichever tax regime I want. Okay. This is the first step. Now let us see income tax computation. Okay. So we'll go to display statutory reports, payroll reports, income tax computation. Okay. काव्या का तो नहीं है, हम लोग we'll take Kavya's income tax computation. Okay. So any employee when you create, no, this is how it will look like. So you will have salary, you will have perquisites. Perquisites means some benefits which is given by the employee, by the company to the employee. Okay. And some profits in lieu of salary. And then you have allowances exempted under section 10. Okay. Your HRA and all will come here. Somebody asked one question related to HRA also. I'll take that. Okay. Then we have standard deduction, which is applicable to old and new tax regime this year onwards. Professional tax will come here. And then you will get your total income. Okay. And then you have other income declared by the employee. After that, you will get gross total income. Any deductions under chapter 6A will come here. That is 80C, 80D, all those things. And then total income chargeable to tax. What is the tax on total income? Okay. So now I'll show you how you can fill one by one here. Okay. Now when you see here, salary is coming. Okay. We also have HRA. But HRA should come as exemption under section 10. But HRA is not coming here. Right. So one by one, I'll show you how you can give 80C, 80D. So one by one, we will go step by step. Okay. So here, the first step will be, you have to map your pay heads with income tax components. Okay. For income tax, wherever you're implementing for any customer, first step, you will choose the tax regime in the employee master. Okay, you will say whether he is old tax regime or whether he is new tax regime. Second step, you have to map the pay heads with income tax components. Okay, so now you may ask me why this mapping is required. Okay, in income tax, you have some terms. Okay, you have HRA, you have conveyance allowance. Okay, so HRA, it is a deduction under section 10. Conveyance allowance, you have certain exemption. Okay. But in Tally, you would have created this with any name. You would have created HRA for Bangalore employee, rent allowance. Okay. So each person will create the masters as per their choice. So now the thing is, you will map the masters in Tally with that of the income tax components. Okay, you will tell HRA, this is the component. Conveyance allowance, this is the, like simple words, this is the ledger in my books for conveyance allowance. Okay, so your books, you have some ledgers. Income tax, there is some terminologies. You will match these two. Okay, so आपका books में ledgers होते हैं और income tax में components होता है, HRA, conveyance. तो अभी हम mapping करेंगे. हम product को बताएंगे, ये जो है ये HRA है, ये जो है ये conveyance है. तो ये mapping होता है second step. So mapping करने के लिए you can do it from different places. You can do it from pay head itself. Okay, I'll go to the pay head. Basic salary. So here you have this option. Set or alter income tax status. You can go here and you have one list. Okay, this is the list I was telling. Income tax में एक list होता है, मैंने बताया था ना, ये list है वो. इस list में से basic salary को आपको match करना है. Tally का जो ledger है, उसे आप ये कौन सा है करके आपको system को बताना पड़ेगा. This we call it as mapping the income tax components. Okay, so by default whenever you create any pay head, किसी भी pay head में by default ये income tax component other earnings पे रहेगा. ओके आपको इसे निकाल के जो relevant है उसका ऊपर मैच करना है. यदि आपका वो चिल्ड्रन एजुकेशन अलाउंस हो तो चिल्ड्रन एजुकेशन अलाउंस आपको चूज करना है. तो इसे आप पे हेड से कर सकते हैं. यू कैन गो हियर एंड डू इट फ्रॉम हियर और यू कैन गो टू get one income tax component. Just a minute. There's one more place. I'm just give me 1 minute. Here. Income tax pay head details. Okay. So you should go here. So here you will get all the list. First place you can do it from pay head or you can do it from here also. So basic salary, press enter, choose basic salary. Okay. And then tax calculation basis, it will ask on actual value or on projected value. Okay. When you define, it will ask how the tax calculation should happen. Okay. Should it be actual or should it be projected? Okay. So what is the difference between actual and projected? Actual means we'll take projected first. Okay. So now let's take an example of salary. Okay. To calculate your total income for that year, if your salary for April is 12,000, what we will do? We will do 12,000 into 12. Correct? Yes or no? To know your salary for whole year, we will do, if your April month salary is 12,000, we will make 12,000 into 12. ये समझ में आया? Did you understand this? We will project it, right, to find the total income. Now, just take an example. You're getting bonus. Okay? Or you're getting commission. You got bonus or commission in the month of April as 20,000. Will you get the same in the May month also? Can I do 20,000 into 12 if it is bonus or commission? Yes or no? Are you getting this?
No.
Yeah.
Because bonus or commission will not come regularly.
Yes, correct. So this is not a regular income. So when you're configuring pay heads like bonus or commission, you will choose it as actual value. When you're configuring pay heads like basic salary, conveyance, HRA, all these things, you will choose it as projected value. You will choose it as projected value. Clear? Got the difference between these two? Actual and projected? Okay, because okay, thank you. So now this is about basic salary. There is one more option. I'll explain that also. Conveyance, again it is conveyance allowance. So you will choose it as transport allowance. Okay. Conveyance, in my let books, I have created it as conveyance. But income tax terminology for that is transport allowance. I will create this also on projected value. Okay. And there is one option, deduct TDS across periods. Okay. This deduct TDS across periods, this will come into picture when you have actual pay heads. Okay. Now I was telling you for the month of April, you got bonus of 1 lakh rupees. Let us assume. Okay. On this, your income tax is 10%. So tax is 10,000 rupees. Okay. So when the TDS should be deducted? If you want TDS to be deducted in April itself, you should make this option deduct TDS across periods to no. Okay. So then what it will do? The whole 10,000 it will deduct in the month of April itself. It will not portion it. Okay. If you make deduct TDS across periods to yes, when you make this option to yes, what it will do is it will do 10,000 divided by 12. Every month it will deduct equal amount. This is for TDS. Okay. And this comes into picture when you have actual pay heads. When it is projected one, it is understood every month TDS should be deducted. When you have actual pay heads, and sometimes no bonus and all, it will be lump sum amount. You don't want to the company to deduct the entire TDS that month itself. So for them, this option is there. So when the TDS should be deducted, if it should be in the same month, then you should make this option to no. If it should be divided between different months, then it should be yes. And the cursor will move there when you have the calculation basis as actual value. So I'm choosing projected value. Now PF, HRA, right? House rent allowance. Okay. Somebody asked me to show the HRA pay head. Okay. I'll show that. I'll show that later. Okay. So house rent allowance, medical reimbursement. Okay. So that is also there. Medical reimbursement. Okay. Overtime, you will not have something called overtime here. It is other earnings fully taxable. Okay. It's on actual value. And professional tax, it's on projected value. Okay. So first step, mapping of pay head to the income tax component is completed. Okay. Understood this? Yes.
Excuse me, madam. Could you show me the path? How did you came to this place?
Yes, I'll show you. So I went to alter. In alter, we have income tax pay head details. So from Gateway of Tally, go to alter, show more, income tax pay head details. Okay. And somebody asked me to show HRA pay head. I'll just open that. You can see. So I have configured it like this. On my basic salary, HRA is 20%. If you want some different percentage, you can do that also. If it should be some fixed value, you can do that. If it is based on attendance, you can do anything you can do. There is no difference. You can just choose it under earnings and then you can create the HRA pay head. Okay. So now, first step, mapping pay. Yes.
Ma'am, even HRA mapping also, HRA income tax calculation will be something different. So actual HRA, actual rent.
Yes, sir. I'll come to that. I'll come to that. So you have to define metro or non-metro. That is there. I'll show that. Okay. So now we will see how our computation report looks like. Okay. Kavya. Okay. So now you can see our pay heads are configured. Okay. But still HRA is not coming under section 10. Okay. We have transport allowance. That is also an exemption to the employee under old tax regime. But even that is not coming. Okay. So now why it is not coming? Because you have to define certain things. So when it is HRA, there is a formula for HRA. Okay. I'll show you that formula. For this formula, you have to define whether the employee is in a metro city or employee is in a non-metro city. Okay. When it comes to transport allowance, you have to define if employee is he's a specially challenged or he's others. Okay. Or if it is children education allowance, you have to define you have one children or two children. Okay. So based on that, this allowance is it calculates. Okay. So this information should be fed in the system. Only then those things will start appearing under section 10. So next step, we will see where can we define these particular things. Okay. So now again, same place. Go to alter. Go to show more. Okay. Income tax declarations. Okay. So here for everything you have to declare. Now I'll show you one or two things here. When it comes to house rent allowance. Okay. So as I told you, you have to give certain things. What is that things? Okay. So first one is rent. What is the rent paid by the employee? Okay. And there are two things here. One is declared, another one is proof. Okay. See, what is the difference between declared and proof is beginning of the year, company will ask how much rent are you paying? I will tell I'm paying 20,000. But end of the year, towards the end of the year, they will ask to give me the rent receipt. At that time, what I will do, I'll give rent receipts only for 15,000. This is the difference between declared and proof. Okay. I will declare I will make investment of 1 lakh this year, but at end of the year, I'll not be making it. So that is the reason there are two things here. What is the employee declare? Usually this will be in the beginning of the financial year. And the next one is proof. To what amount he provided the proof, that you can give it here. And place of residence, metro or non-metro. If the rent is above 1 lakh, landlord's name and PAN is required. That also should be given here. Okay.
मैडम ये क्वेश्चन था, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
सपोज देखिए मैं मार्च अप्रैल 23 में किसी एक एम्प्लॉय ने ज्वाइन किया. ओके. अब उसका एचआरए जैसे यहाँ पे वो इसी समय डिक्लेयर करेंगे कि 20,000 है और 15,000 प्रूफ मांगेंगे या मार्च का 24 में?
यूजुअली जनवरी का 24 में प्रूफ मांगेंगे. बाय जनवरी और फरवरी, डिपेंड्स ऑन द कंपनी. जब अप्रैल में ज्वाइन होगा तो वो डिक्लेयर कर देगा. प्रूफ ईयर एंड पे कलेक्ट करेंगे.
प्रूफ वो अपना बाद में दे सकते हैं फिर से?
बाद में दे सकते हैं.
ओके.
तो जब प्रूफ देंगे इधर पे आके एंटर करना पड़ेगा. So when it is initially, I will only know what is declared. I will not know proof. So this you can leave it blank. Okay. And afterwards, when you get the proof, you should come to the same screen and give the proof details. So like this, you can declare and you can declare whether it is metro or non-metro. Okay. So now I have declared my HRA. Like this, leave travel allowance का कर सकते हैं, transport allowance का कर सकते हैं. Okay. So effective from, if it is others, you will choose others. If it is physically challenged, the exemption limit is different. Some, I think 1,800 something is there. So that it depends on that. So whatever you have declared here, based on that, the exemption will be calculated. So similarly, you can declare for children education allowance and children hostel expenditure. So here they have to declare how many children they have. So 1st April, tak one child, and after that one more child. So those things can be declared here. So based on that, the exemption will be allowed. Okay. So now I have defined HRA and transport allowance. Let me check how my computation report looks like. I'll go to display, payroll reports, statutory reports, income tax computation. Okay. So now you can see I'm getting house rent allowance here. Okay. So one by one, you can start adding it. If you have perquisites, it will start coming here. And next, we have other income declared by employee. यदि कुछ other income है इसका, income from other sources है, so that declaration also can be given. And whatever is 80C, 80D, iska bhi declaration, they can give it. Okay. So now when same place, you have to again go to alter, show more. So you have income tax declarations here. Okay. So income tax declarations. So go here. If the employee has any other income from any other sources, that can be given here. Okay. Like I have income from other sources. So I have some 50,000 is my income from other sources. And I have income from house property. Okay. So what is the rent received? So say suppose rent received is 70,000 and proof also should be given. And what is the tax paid? That amount will be reduced. If you're paying some interest on housing loan, okay, on the let out property, that amount you can specify here. So that will get reduced. Okay. So like this, whatever income the employee has, additional income other than salary, they can give here so that the taxable income can be derived. After that, you will have 80C and 80D deductions. Okay. 80C, 80CCF, 80CCG, you can give it here. You can do for one employee or multiple employees together. Okay. So I can give any 80C deductions. I can mention it here. Insurance premium, I'm paying 60,000. I can give the proof amount whenever I have it. Okay. And next I have National Savings Scheme Certificate, 70,000. So whatever it is, you can give. Okay. But it will not give you the entire amount. Here, the maximum amount is 1,50,000. Okay. So 1,50,000, it will show you here. The total ATC is 1,65,000, but allowed amount is 1,50,000. So like this, whatever are your other things, you can select. Like ATCC D1B. This is your NPS account. So NPS ka kuch, if employees invested somewhere, not then that amount also can be given. So that also will be considered here. Okay. So like this, ATC declarations can be given here. If 80D, any donations, those kind of things are done, that declaration can be given here in 80D declaration. Okay. So like this, whatever is the amount provided, the declarations they can give here. So one by one, as and when you start filling it, the effect of this, you can see it in your income tax computation reports. This is one place where you will go and give all the declarations. Now you can go to the income tax computation. Okay. See other incomes, what I gave, that has come here. And 80C has come here. 80D has come here. Okay. So like this, one by one, when you give, those things will get calculated here. We have some more options there related to income tax. And next we have income tax exempt. Okay. So some special condition, something exemption is given as an additional amount to you. You can come here and configure it. And then we also have income tax amount. Okay. So here what will happen is, say suppose the employee's tax per month is 50,000, but he comes to the company and tells for next 2 months you deduct 20,000, balance amount you can deduct it later. Okay. So that overriding also you can do it here. Okay. मेरा income tax मुझे हर महीना 50,000 भरना पड़ता है, पर मैं कंपनी से रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ next 2 months के लिए 50,000 deduct मत कीजिए, you can deduct it later. Okay. So then that declaration can be given here. So I'll tell 1st April to 30th June, deduct tax only 10,000. Whereas company should deduct 50,000. I'm telling deduct only 10,000. That balance amount, after that they can start deducting. So that configuration can be done here. Override income tax. But last month everything should be paid. In between, some postponements if they want to do, they can do it from here. And then we have previous employer tax deducted and paid details. Like employee has joined in between the financial year. So previous company में already वो थोड़ा tax सभी pay किए होंगे ना, तो उसका details यहाँ पे fill कर सकते हैं so that this will come to your computation. Income details. So these are all the things related to income tax. So most important thing is you have to map the pay heads, you have to give the declaration, and then your income tax computation will start working. Okay. And then now everything is coming, right? So when you go here to payroll reports, income tax, if you go to computation, you can see for this particular employee, Kavya, the total income tax is 70,000 after all these deductions. And till April, May, already 19,000 is deducted. Balance deductible is 51,000 and tax per month is 5,000. So how to deduct this? How to deduct this from employee salary? So you have to create a pay head for that again. You have to create a pay head called income tax, employee statutory deductions. Statutory pay type will be income tax. Okay. So when you create this, after you create, you have to add it in the salary details. So everything, any pay head you create, you want that to be part of employee salary. You should go to that employee and you have to add that pay head in the salary details. Okay. And income tax will be the last pay head because after all this will come. So you will add it here. After that, whenever you are processing payroll.
Hello, madam.
Yes, tell me.
Income tax pay head, could you show me once more?
Yeah. It's under employee statutory deductions, income tax.
Okay. As per income tax. So
Yes.
amount will be automatically, system will decide?
Yeah. System will decide the amount automatically.
Oh. Okay.
So now for Kavya, let us process for the month of June. So I'll make a voucher. At first, let us make attendance for her. 30th June. Kavya, present. Let me take 30 days. So now when I'm making other vouchers, payroll, autofill. See, this is the declared value and proof value. So if you want the tax to be deducted on declared value, you can choose this. And based on proof value, if you want, you can choose it as proof value. Usually in the year end, it will be proof. After the proof is received, no, based on the proof value, the tax will be deducted. In the beginning, it will be declared value. So for the month of June, I will process for Kavya salary payable. Okay. So you can see here, we had seen in income tax computation, her tax was 5,124. So that amount is deducted here. And after this, you have to pay that income tax to the department. So it's a payment voucher. Again, it's autofill, payroll autofill, income tax challan. Okay. So you can see that particular amount, whatever is deducted, it will show here. You can make provide details to yes and fill in the income tax details. Okay. So with this will stop. So now I'll go to computation. So till June, it's deducted. From July, you should deduct. When you go here, so when you drill down, you can, every place there is a drill down. You can drill down to see what values are there. Tax on total. So this is as per old tax regime. Okay. New tax regime, there is no much things like this declarations and all. You will not do it in new tax regime, right? So you will only have this one. I'll show you. I change this from old to new tax regime. Okay. See now, you can see there is some change. All that that HRA, whatever I had given it as ATC, those things and all are not applicable in new tax regime. So all those things gets removed automatically. The revised tax is shown here, right? Only standard deduction is allowed to them. So standard deduction starts appearing here. Okay, so this is all about income tax. So only thing you have to keep in mind is that mapping is very important and declaration is important. So in TallyCare, most of the people, the calls what we get is, they will tell HRA is not coming under section 10. So only the checklist what you have to check is whether HRA is part of salary. If it's part of salary, is it mapped to income tax component? If it is mapped, have they declared whether the employee is from a metro city or a non-metro city? These three things, if you check, this will get solved. Okay, so mostly people miss to give declaration or map the pay head to the correct income tax component. If that is done, then the values will appear here, right? So understood this?
Yes, understood. Thank you. I will practice it.
Any questions you all can ask now?
मैडम एक क्वेश्चन था।
हाँ पूछिए जी।
मान लीजिए मैं अटेंडेंस बना रहा हूँ, फॉर एग्जांपल किसी एम्प्लॉय का 25 डेज वर्किंग है आउट ऑफ 30 डेज, और उसमें कुछ उसने ओवर टाइम भी किया है और उसका पेड लीव भी है 2 दिन का, ठीक है? तो अटेंडेंस जो बनेगा वो ये जो मैं बनाऊंगा तो उसको 3 बार क्या उस लेजर को ऐड करना पड़ेगा उस एम्प्लॉय का?
ऐसे करना है आपको। आई विल शो यू दैट। ओके, तो आपका पेड लीव्स भी है, राइट? पेड लीव्स, अर्न लीव्स। ओके, अर्न लीव्स। ओके, तो इसे आपको प्रेजेंट के अंदर बनाना पड़ेगा।
नहीं, मैं तो मैं समझ गया। मैं जो अटेंडेंस बनाऊंगा तो उसको क्या 3 बार वहां पे सिलेक्ट करने पड़ेंगे क्या मुझे?
हाँ, 3 बार करना पड़ेगा।
3 बार करना पड़ेगा एक एम्प्लॉय का, मतलब
you do like this, you have to give it like this, like Kavya present for 20 days. So Kavya had taken earned leave for 2 days. If you want to show week off also separately, यदि आपको week off भी देखना है,